I quit going to the strip clubs. That's my new thing. I'm done. Every guy does the same shit. I'm not spending more than $80. 6 trips to the ATM later, you're robbing a friend. And every dancer is putting herself through college. I didn't realize there's a wave of genius strippers in the world. In 10 years, you're gonna be at the neurosurgeon like, Pussycat Johnson? Holy shit, you really did it!
Mike Young is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Stealing Jokes is the name of the movie. Available on Amazon, Apple, Buddha, Google, YouTube as well. What do you got, Mayhem?
Yo, first off, George Gascón is out as the LA County DA.
Good.
Yeah, new in is Nathan Hochman, I guess. Hochman must be.
I think it's Hochman.
Hochman? To him in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the new DA. He defeated progressive prosecutor George Gascón in the race for Los Angeles County District Attorney, as crime was seen as a top issue in this election cycle.
Yeah, we always do. We try these little experiments, and then later on it turns into a shit show, and then later on we undo what we did, which is like we had to have Prop 36 because that undid Prop 47. And so what we do is we come up with really bad ideas. 10 years ago, we were like, there's too many black gentlemen in prison. Why? Well, they keep getting arrested for stuff. What kind of stuff? Stuff like shoplifting. Well, what if we just didn't arrest them? Don't you think that would solve the problem? I'm like, well, it would solve the problem of black men being in jail, but it wouldn't solve the problem of shoplifting. I think it would exacerbate that problem. And they go, there's far too many black men in jail. I'm like, well, why don't we look into the root causes of that instead of deciding shit people are doing to get them put in jail is now fine is not really going to help that. Well, it'll help, but it's not good if you're a shopkeeper. And so we go, no. Prop 47 it is, and then all the smash and grabs and all the stealing and all the homeless stealing everything, and then the fucking Mexican cartels getting involved and taking up to 850 because it's a felony past that. And then at some point, after a decade of chaos, somebody goes, I have an idea for another prop. Here's a prop. It's called Prop 36. It'll make that stuff wrong again. And then everyone goes, let's do it. Now, I would argue that good governance is not suggesting the first shitty prop.
Correct.
And then what we do is we go, yeah, that was a horrible idea. Let's get rid of that idea. But no one ever goes, well, whose idea was it? Maybe we should get rid of that person. How about the person with the shitty ideas? Can we get rid of that person? No, we like that person. We implement their shitty ideas. A lot of people get hurt and killed, and then we reverse it. And it'd just be like if I went, look, a Prop 47, like you had to know how that one was going to turn out when we said, let's not make it illegal to steal stuff anymore. Well, what if I just said, look, I got a Prop 51. It's all households have to have a full-size male macaw parrot let loose in their house. Anyway, all right, idea. I'm listening. Well, there's a lot of homes and they need macaws. All right, a lot of brown and black kids that don't have macaws in their home. That's right. Okay, let's do it. All right, it is done. Prop 51. Everyone gets a full-size male macaw released in their home. Wild. And then all the macaw does is scratch everybody, chew up all the furniture, shit on the dog, and fuck everyone's shit out and wake everyone up at 2 a.m. with its wild calls. And then at some point I go, I got an idea. This one's called Prop 52. In this proposition, we remove the male macaws from inside homes. What do you guys think? Is that a good one? And everyone goes, yeah, that guy. I'm with that guy.
This guy's brilliant.
This macaw's been kicking the shit out of my house for 10 years now. I go, thank you. But no one thinks maybe we should get rid of the macaw guy. Maybe that guy should go. Maybe his ideas are bad. We don't do that. So that's what we do here.
Well, they ousted Gascon, and now, Hochman's in. He previously ran unsuccessfully for California Attorney General as a Republican, but was an independent in this race and describes himself as a lifelong centrist.
Oh, that's the other retard thing we do in California. We go, all right, listen, I'm pretty miserable with this fucking macaw. It's clawed my daughter's eyes out while she was sleeping the other night, shitting all over the place. I opened the curtain in the bathroom and the shower curtain. It was there. It scared the shit out of me. I woke up the other night at 3 a.m. to use the toilet. I walked in and I felt something hit me in the head. Freaked out. Had to go shit in the yard. Okay, good, because this guy has a proposition to get rid of the macaws. Okay. He's a Republican. Okay, sorry. No. We're keeping the macaws.
Keeping the macaw.
We're keeping the macaw. Okay. Whoa, good news. He changed his affiliation to independent.
Bring him in.
Okay. All right. Now we can get rid of these macaws now. Like, all right, that's good. Now we're talking. How fucking stupid do you have to be? That's how you go through your life.
The common sense is gone.
It's
just
gone.
gone. People are...
common sense.
Common sense.
I got a children's book. This guy...
I'm going to buy it.
Little Johnny... has a super pragmatic macaw.
But he doesn't get excited about anything.
No, you're cross pollinating.
That's all.
It's in the same
it's not
universe.
the same book.
Sorry.
No.
2 books.
Yeah, no. My common sense. It writes itself.
It already did.
I'm not illustrating.
I don't comedy over here.
Sorry. All right. So good. Now we got a DA who's going to prosecute people because we like laws and law and order, and things will calm down. And then at a certain point, we'll get bored. And we'll go, you know what? Why is this guy locking up the black folk? And then we'll go, all right, let's get another guy in who's super macaw friendly. And then we'll fucking do it, and it'll turn into a shit show. And then we'll go, what's going on around here with all the crime? We got to get rid of this guy. Because we're dumb.
Can you imagine day one shoplifting just stops? The burglary ring stops.
That would be awesome.
Just shoot one shoplifter. Just in the leg. I'm not saying kill him.
Wing him.
You just need to make it exact. Just one to the ankle.
Yeah. Lower
calf
extremity. That's right.
You can't do this.
In Hollywood news, Hollywood nice guy Tom Hanks goes scorch earth on movie critic cocksuckers as he defends his films.
Really? Hollywood Nights? Wait, the movie Hollywood Nights?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Keenan Ivory Wayans?
What?
No.
Oh, Robert Townsend.
Hollywood nice guy. Did I say nights?
Hollywood Nights.
Oh, wait. Hollywood Nice Guy.
Nice guy Tom Hanks.
Oh, maybe you thought you said Nights, or maybe you did say Nights. But Hollywood Nights was a movie.
Sorry.
And it was like a weird Porky's before Porky's or something. It was kind of like that. It was weird.
Dude, I love Porky's.
I thought it was one of those independent Keenan Ivory Wayans.
It kind of had that vibe. We'll figure it out. All right, let's hear what he has to say. Sorry.
That thing you do.
Oh, yeah.
You were disappointed when it came out, and it has this whole other life now.
It is.
It is this cult classic.
Okay.
But that's an example of...
Let me tell you something about these suckers who write about movies. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a podcast.
My father writes about movies! And his name is Sucker.
Somebody who wrote about it is that this is just, Tom Hanks has to stop hanging around with veterans of TV because this is just like the shot on TV and it's not much of anything, That same person then wrote about the cult classic, That Thing You Do. Same exact person. It's all you need is 20 years between now and then, and it ends up speaking somewhere.
So I think he's a little fired up because he's got that new movie out with Zemeckis that nobody cares about, and I think Joe, we're talking about the Rotten Tomatoes on that one, and I can't remember who else is in it, but he made this Forrest Gump type reboot called Here with Robin Wright and Hanks, and it looks to me like a Forrest Gump sort of travel through life, young and old, whatever, and people don't seem to be excited about
Never
it.
even heard of it, and I love movies.
I love movies too, and we have. Well, let's see what the Rotten Tomatoes are. So what happened is I had not heard about this movie.
Oof.
And I heard it was in the theaters, and I was thinking about seeing a movie, and I thought, oh, I like Zemeckis, I like Hanks, I like Robin Wright, I like Forrest Gump. Maybe let's go see this movie. And then I was like, but I haven't heard any buzz I haven't heard anything good about it. Mm-hmm. And then I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes to see what the critics thought, and I know critics seem to like Hanks most of the time, and it's 36 with the critics and 57 with the people. That's not good. That's a sort of rotten consensus. And I said to my girlfriend, I don't think we should see this movie, which means it worked. And Tom is right to be pissed because the critics kind of dissuaded me from seeing this movie.
Yeah. Is it about Forrest and Jenny?
No,
it's not. Is it?
The revamp.
It's not about that. I didn't even see what it was about.
Gump 2.
Well, Zemeckis did the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think people are thinking when you get the band back together, you're going to get some version of that.
Yeah, maybe
they hate it because it's not a feel-good movie. I don't know. I didn't look into it, but yeah, there's like maybe because Forrest Gump, that connotates something that's like so, oh wow, feel good, but that's not.
No.
they swayed you from seeing it, but I can't imagine Hanks being bad in any. Like I know he's always good.
He's always good.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Bosom Buddies, he was good. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen him bad in anything. So, I don't know. Critics it's an interesting job.
You know, listen, my thing is if you get the critics and the people score and you put them together and we're still not cracking triple digits, that's
a problem.
It could. If I know nothing about the film, it might dissuade me. Mm-hmm. If I see the critics are low, but the people have it at 86%, I'm like, oh, fuck those critics. They don't like action movies or whatever
For
it
sure.
is. Right.
You made a few movies yourself. Like, what's your opinion on this?
I mean, listen, I've made 3 comedies, and so I know I made what I thought were funny movies. You make a movie to make yourself laugh. I thought they were good. You know, when I did My Man as a Loser, I got buried by a couple critics that were like, but they were like weird criticisms. It was like, why would I watch John Stamos in a comedy? And I started to get upset
You
about
got a
that.
Rotten Tomato score on that?
It wasn't good. On My Man as a Loser, I can't remember. It was like 7 years ago. It was my first movie I ever did. It was the first time I wrote and directed a movie.
The beauty of the internet is we can summon that score.
Oh, Adam, don't do this, bro.
We're doing it.
It's
but
probably
look,
not
we
good.
We know on this show that comedies get shit on.
By the way, the movie went on to like have like 800,000 downloads, so whatever that is. Like the movie made
no
money.
critic
There you
score.
go. That's a
24
win.
with the people.
No.
Not robust.
That's not good.
But let me say this.
I think you'd enjoy it.
It is funny when you're looking at. I've made a few movies and got a few Rotten Tomato scores too, and I remember like sometimes you look at one, it's like rotten. Okay, what's their critique? And they're like 3 out of 5 stars, mostly funny, but and I'm like, that doesn't sound like a bad review
Yeah, it's not
for
rotten.
a comedy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like had some good laughs, blah blah blah. It's like. It's a comedy, and you said it had some good laughs, and I got 3 out of 5. That didn't feel negative. Like, it's so weird sometimes how they just go, that was a bad review.
For a weird reason.
And I'm like, I think I could spin that into a good review.
I thought it was a solid review. Stamos did great in the movie.
No.
But yeah, I mean, making a movie is tough to get it. Obviously, getting it in the can and being done is a feat in itself.
It's a feat.
And but the critic world is an interesting world. I've met critics who are just bitter people, and I've met critics who love movies and who actually, look into, giving you a critical breakdown of the movie. So
How about the new movie? I mean, I'm sure. Look, you've learned from that experience. Like now, this is your 3rd movie.
Yeah.
Like so, what?
This is my favorite movie, and I'm not just saying
wow.
it because it's out. It's like I've always had the sentiment, like in my heart, to, as a comedian, I started in stand-up so I'm 18 years into stand-up. I've made some movies now, but my sentiment with comedy was always like, you're treating the comedian, and you've probably not dealt with this as much, but sometimes club owners will like stiff you a little bit or try to pay you a different way or not hold true to a contract. So I would hear stories over and over again of comedians getting stiffed, and I always had this idea in my mind of just a heist film where we take down the comedy club. And the more I kind of researched and read about the old school guys like the Buddy Hackett's and even Pryor back in the day, you know, they'd have a pistol on them and they would make sure they got their money. I don't do that, but like I always wanted to make a movie about it. And so this movie, it moved faster. I had a super indie cast, which was like, you know, no real diva situation with actors. And it was really just, they really brought it. And I enjoy this movie. And it was like, you know, I'm a fan of like the old school Mel Brooks type humor and just ridiculousness where you could break a fourth wall every now and then. And so I was able to kind of put those fun moments into this movie. So whatever the critics say, go ahead. I enjoy my movie.
Yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
By the way, of course, there's moments where you go, God damn, I could have done better on that moment. But, you know, hindsight's 2020 and stealing jokes is here.
It's hard. Making comedy's hard. Done it.
Yeah, but
taxing, man.
Yeah, but when you're funny, you're just born funny. It's not like you worked on being. This is you. You're just a funny storyteller. You got a gift for being funny. So
when you have to write the script and execute it and everything, it turns into a thing, man.
Oh, and get a lot of people on board to do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's Herculean, man.
Yeah.
It's really to figure it all out. It's kind of nuts, but it is once you do that, you can kind of do anything because it is really the most difficult. Not in terms of like it's not harder than roofing, but in many
my brother's in roofing.
In many ways, you choose. In many ways, it is. It's like longer, more arduous, more moving pieces. Everyone around you is a fuck up when you make a movie. There's so many fuck ups, and then there's like 3 good people, and you have to rely on them heavily. But there's a lot of fuck ups.
Oh yeah, you want your props. Like, why is there only water and no ice in that glass? It doesn't matter. I got a baby at home.
The props.
You know what I mean? Everything matters. So
I had a. And you're in such a fucking rush. You're in such a rush. You don't have time to fix everything. And so you have these jokes like in your head, and you have them executed in your head, how you want them in your head. You picture them, you see them play out, sort of your mind's eye, you know. And then it comes time to shoot the scene. I had this scene in a movie I did called The Hammer where like I pulled over on the side of the highway and I was talking to some illegal Mexican guy who was just trying to sell. I was buying flowers off him, and I was having this like philosophical discussion with him about life and kind of finding myself and really doing what I wanted to do and breaking free. And he's like, "Yeah, me too." And I said, "When are you going to start doing what you want to do?" And he's like, "Yeah, when am I going to do?" And then the joke was he paused for a minute and he'd hold up a giant sack of peanuts and go, "Peanuts?" And first off, the actor who was supposed to play Carlos never showed up. Oh. He never showed up. So the other guy I was working with, Ozzy, I was like, "You know a guy, like an old Mexican guy, looks like he would sell flowers?" He's like, "Yeah, there's a guy in my apartment building." I was like, "Call him up, get him over here." They get him over here. So we're getting ready to shoot the shot. We're losing the light, blah, blah, blah. And I go, "All right, so we got the flowers." I got flowers, okay. We got the peanuts, right? Got peanuts. Yeah. We got little sacks of paper, sack of peanuts, a little miniature, like ballpark size. I go, no. The joke is I get him all fired up for this life, and he's going to start living his life, and then at some point he just lifts a 40-pound sack of peanuts. He goes, "Peanuts?" Like, he's not listening to me at all. He doesn't speak English. And they go, "Yeah, we got the peanuts." I go, "Okay, that's a paper sack." I go, "Okay, listen, well, where's this?" In the script, it says he lifts up a pillowcase size sack of peanuts. This is a miniature sack of peanuts. And the guy looked at me and he goes, "Peanuts don't come in a pillowcase." Thank you for that insight. Now go get a fucking clear bag and go get 18 of your small bags of peanuts and open them real fast into the big clear bag so we can hold a big clear bag up. And then everyone starts trying to talk you. What's the difference? It's peanuts. It's just peanuts. I go, It's not going to work the way you want to do it. It's going to work this way, but we don't have time to get. I don't understand. You wanted peanuts. He got you peanuts. Okay, the script says pillowcase size sack. I understand Mike Lindell does not sell a pillow that is filled with peanuts. That's why I wrote the word size in the script, because I thought that would mean to him to get a giant sack. And I didn't write big sack of peanuts because I knew he'd fuck that up too. It says pillowcase size.
Very specific.
Sack of peanuts.
Yeah. You try to get everybody to care as much as you care. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And it's never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen. They got their whole life going on behind the scenes. But that is the goal, I think, of like the director, to get everybody working in the same direction, like, so that doesn't happen.
They do not care.
Because to you, that was an important moment.
Yeah.
This giant sack of peanuts. That's real. I've had a couple of those peanut moments.
Yes, you have to have your peanut moment.
I had a few peanut moments. It's like, dude, I don't want to fire you right now, but if you're not understanding that a little bag of baseball stadium peanuts is not going to land the joke, we're done talking. It's just
important moment here on CNN as Jake Tapper's stunned reaction goes viral after Kamala Harris fails to outperform Biden in a single state. We got it right here.
I had so much fun.
So you asked, are there any
Watching
places that the
CNN
vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
Yeah.
Wow.
People didn't like her.
Nobody cared.
Here's the pitch. The pitch was, you want her or would you like Hitler? And that's good if we all believe the other guy's Hitler, but we didn't believe it because Tony Hinchcliffe told a joke about Puerto Ricans. Sorry, that's not enough to get me in on the whole Hitler thing. It's not enough. So you didn't convince us, and then she didn't bring anything.
Like you said, when you do a little deeper dive and you go, Trump's son-in-law is Jewish. I'm sure he loves his grandkids. Of course, he's not Hitler.
But also, philosophically, let's just like look at it this way. It just be like me going, wow, there's this really cush, clean, rent-controlled apartment right on the ocean in Santa Monica, and you live right on the ocean for $800 a month. They could get $6,000 a month for this place, but it's rent-controlled. And I go, okay, well, it's between you and another guy, and they want to interview you two. The owner wants to know who's going to be a better roommate in this place. I could go in there and bring some pay stubs and say I've been working for the same outfit for 14 years and I'm never late and I'm not a drinker and I'm not a snorer and I have a girlfriend and I spend a lot of time at her place on the west side. I'm not even home a lot and I don't need one of the parking spots in the parking. You can use both of them because I Uber everywhere. I could do that and you could then give me the nod to be the roommate in the rent-controlled apartment, or I could spend my entire time trying to talk you into thinking the next guy is Hitler.
Yeah.
Which would work because you wouldn't want Adolf Hitler as your roommate, but I would have to do a real good job of convincing you the next guy was Hitler, because if I didn't, then you'd go, I got one guy who they said was Hitler, but he's the guy who came in and told me all about his resume and his past roommate experience, and he seems pretty sober and pretty good to me. And then I got the other guy, I don't know that much about him, but he says the other guy's Hitler. Yeah. Now you got to make a decision. And I'd probably take the roommate who gave me his bona fides and his plan for vacuuming schedules. And how
quiet girlfriend.
The guy went, how do you like your eggs, bro? And I go, basted? I'm ready for you every morning. 6:15. I would vote for that guy.
Favorite roommate.
Well, the other guy's tidy, knows how to paint, clean little mustache.
Oh, the actual Hitler. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
All right. Do we have one more?
We got one more. A Democrat blame game. Oh, excuse me. Can't even read. Democrat blame game begins as Harris accused of picking wrong running mate. Yeah, Kamala Harris has been accused of picking the wrong running mate as the Democratic blame game over a humiliating election defeat began.
Well, she should have went with Shapiro.
Yeah.
But Shapiro's a Jew.
Uh-oh.
And that party has some difficulty with Jews, which is really fucking weird.
It's weird. I thought that the Democrats, I don't know. I went away for a long time. But back in my day, it was Democrats were Jews.
The squad are anti-Semitic, and they're not
not
pro-Israel over there.
I thought this ended when I left my first neighborhood.
They say they love Israel, but they don't really like Israel, and they're anti-Semitic, so they won't go with Shapiro, so they go with Wackadoodle, and that's
You tell me
what
one
they get.
hit job shows up in Congress, and all of a sudden it flips all the way? That's what happened? I don't know. I'm just being educated.
The cultural sort of band leaders for the far left is the squad.
Yeah.
It's like the Ilhan Omars of the group. Those people are anti-Semitic, even though they say they're not anti-Semitic. They just say a lot of shit about Jews that's not flattering all the time.
Correct.
And they don't really like Israel, and they have some sort of fantasy about Netanyahu and Israel being sort of the ethnic cleansers and the oppressors and all that, when they're really trying to defend their homeland. But people that are browner than Jews are getting killed, and according to their math, anyone who's poor and is brown is righteous, and if someone who's a lighter skin wastes that person or smokes that person, then they're angry at that person, even if the brown people are homicidal, Jew-hating maniacs.
They really, I don't even know where to begin with this. You know what I mean? Like, we were the only Jewish family in the first neighborhood I lived in. Like, we were the only Jews. You know what I mean? And you saw it kind of firsthand. Like, you know, you hear about bullying, but like we had like legit type of bullies. You know what I mean? Like legit.
Blacks don't like Jews either, and the Democratic Party loves blacks, or has to
Pretend
they love blacks so they can get their votes. So for all those reasons, they bypassed Shapiro, and then they went with the guy who's not a Jew, who's a little nutty. And
a little nutty.
It didn't help. It didn't help.
Yeah, if you want to talk vibes, he didn't have a great vibe.
Now, I would imagine this will be the last we see of Kamala Harris, because she was a horrible VP. She ran and dropped out early and got no votes the first time around, and then she just got busted up by Trump. So this should be the end of her. There's going to be no more of that.
I just hear a thing. They signed her to a contract next year on The View.
Oh, she's going to be...
Please tell me that's not real.
She's replacing Whoopi Goldberg.
She can go...
This is not true. But it could be.
I'm just kidding.
She can go... Look, she's going to get a whole bunch of cushy Harvard job. They'll have her faculty something, Harvard, whatever.
$50,000 a speech.
She's going to get $20 million to write a book, and everything will be fine. There's no way she's getting the keys to the Democratic car ever again.
No.
They're not going to do it. And the happiest guy on the planet right now, not Donald Trump, it's Joe Biden.
Oh,
Joe Biden. No, it goes.
J.D. Vance.
Here's the pecking order. No, it is Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Then it is, Jill Biden. Because they fucking hate Kamala. And then it is Trump. Then it's J.D. Vance, and then it's Tony Hinchcliffe. Those are the top. That's the top five of
the relief
Americans
on Hinchcliffe's face
celebrating tonight.
Hinchcliffe put him over the top.
He did.
Man,
All
he's
right.
gonna ride this out.
Mike, thanks so much for coming by. I have the trigonometry guys coming up next.
Thanks for
This is
having
fun.
me, man.
Yeah, one of the good ones, man. Come by anytime.
Nice to meet you, man. I'll be here Thursday.
Well, I mean, you got to let it breathe.
I'm just kidding. Yo, good to meet you, man. Thanks.
Stealing jokes out as we speak on all those platforms, Apple and Amazon and everything else.